Good afternoon, everyone. And once again, thank you for the organizers for having my session here today. I'm really excited to present my presentation on the investment opportunity in the medtech sector, especially on metaverse. This is the first time I will be doing it as well. So I will just be projecting my screen. I hope it's visible. So today I will be presenting on the India incentive on why India is destination for one of the best destination for manufacturing medical devices and the different government schemes that are available to promote this as well. To begin with, I will just quickly go over the table of contents to discuss what I will be talking about. First segment will cover the sector overview, which will give you a snapshot of the Indian medical device ecosystem in India. And then it will talk about why India is the best place now, and the different infrastructure available right now currently, and how Invest India can support your investment journey. To begin with the sector overview. This is quite a heavy slide. This just covers the entire ecosystem of medical devices that exist right now. Currently, India's medical device market is fourth largest in Asia, but we are aiming that we become maybe the fourth largest or the third largest in the world, for which we would be needing a lot of investments and support from your side as well. So the current market size is around 11 billion USD, and it is expected to be a 50 billion USD by 2030 with a CAGR of 9 to 11%. The foreign investment that we are expecting is currently lying at 2.7 billion USD, and the FDI, the foreign direct investment, the rules regarding the FDI are 100% right now. 100% FDI is allowed through automatic route, whether it is brownfield or greenfield investments. The different key segments that you see on the green column are consumables, diagnostic imaging, dental products, orthopedics, patient aids, and so on. These segments I will also be covering in my upcoming slides as well. As you can see, the last column, the last point mentions that we are expecting that our exports will be around 10 billion USD by 2025, which is, of course, going to be supported by the different government schemes and Invest India support as well. So to begin with, the first slide covers the numbers, the quantitative number covers the FDI equity inflow since 2014. 2014 is the time when 100% FDI was permitted in both greenfield and brownfield investments in the medical device sectors. So as you can see, the investments has been rising, and of course, as is visible, FY 16-17 was the highest investment that we saw. Post that, we have seen a lot of investments coming in, the constant investments has been coming in, but of course you can see from the FY 19 to 20 onwards, due to the pandemic, there has been a significant drop in the investment, but we see that on the uptake as well with the FY 21-22 at 200 billion USD. So the total number, as you know, is the 2.7 billion USD. So moving on to the medical device exports, as you all know it. So these are the different segments that exist right now in the Indian medical devices, which are being tracked right now. So the current export figure for 21-22 is US 2.9 billion. And this is the comparison that we have done over two past years, two FY years. So as you can see, the most exported product segment within the medical devices is the consumables and the disposables. So now I will be talking about the medical import data, wherein you can see we have around 80% import dependency on different countries, specifically in the electronic equipment segment. This is primarily due to the lack of high-end medical devices that are manufactured, that are not being currently manufactured in India, and poor availability of raw materials. So one should realize that we are increasing, the government has increased its impetus on the medical device manufacturing by ensuring that there is more R&D happening in the sector with the new R&D policy, R&D innovation policy in the back end, and different skill development with the NIPERs that exist right now. And so there is a lot of different initiatives that the government is taking up, and especially with regards to the investments, the government introduced the production linked incentives in 2020, which saw around 21 applications. I will also be taking you over the different applications and the scheme in the upcoming slides as well. And within that, the government is also focusing on improving the infrastructure, which is happening through the scheme for promoting medical devices that was launched with the production linked incentive. So this is just a basic slide which covers why you should consider India and why you should consider India right now. So we all are aware that India is called the pharmacy of the world, but we also want to ensure that India at some point is also called the medtech capital of the world. So these are the favorable demographics which will take us there for sure. First is of course the aging population. So when you're going to manufacture here domestically as well, the life expectancy is going to increase. The demand is, of course, going to increase, as you're aware that different non-communicable diseases are on the rise, especially diabetes. So a lot of manufacturing and a lot of devices to track the diabetics also has to be manufactured here right now. With the increasing disposable income, there will be a rise in the uptake of including more medical devices and more services from the medical device sectors by different walks of people. And of course, as you can see, the India's population is expected to be around 1.4 billion, 1.45 billion by 2028. I think right now the world population is just hit 8 billion right now. So you can imagine the percentage that India is going to have in the entire ecosystem. So this slide covers why doing business in India is becoming better over time. So as you can see from I will just cover a couple of points here on the slides. As you can see, the 6 points are there on the screen for you to see. But the major ones are the corporate tax, which was reduced from 34% to 25% to boost manufacturing in India. Specifically, the 15% is specifically for the new units, for the new greenfield units that you will that you will be establishing here. And the next one is the project development cells. There are currently 29 project development cells that exist across central ministries to facilitate investors. It's a special, you can consider a cell that is established so that the investments are getting promoted in the sector. And of course, as I mentioned, there are 29 project development cells. So one PDC is also there in the Department of Pharmaceuticals, which is looking at investor queries, which is looking at investor suggestions, so that all the investors face no issue when they are considering investments in India. And if you're already in India manufacturing, you don't face any issues when you're considering expansion as well. And the other details that you can see is the labor reforms, which were merged. 29 labor reforms, central reforms were merged into 4 codes, providing flexibility in hiring and retrenchment as well, which is of course very important for the medical devices sector. So as I discussed, I will be now taking you to the production linked incentive scheme. Right now, the scheme is closed. We saw 2 application windows during which we saw investment proposals from the 4 target segments that were shortlisted by the government. One is cancer care, the other one is radiology and imaging, anesthetics, and implants as well. So as you can see, there were different segments that the government thought that we need to increase our investments into. And that is why they looked at these 4 target segments. And this is only the start. This the success of the PLI scheme will lead to more PLI schemes, maybe covering different segments as well, and different other, even the ancillary segments will be covered in the upcoming PLI schemes. So as I said, the PLI scheme is currently closed. We had 21 applications were approved. And as you can see, we have shown some of the logos of the approved applicants that exist right now. As you can see, we are expecting a USD 142 million investment that was approved through this PLI scheme, which will lead to a employment generation of 6,000 plus. We are hoping that the employment generation will keep on increasing. These are the numbers that we have received so far from these companies. And as you can see from the pie charts, we saw most investments coming in the T3 segment, which is the cardiorespiratory segment. So moving on to the next production linked incentive scheme. This was mostly covered on the pharmaceutical segment, but within that there was a small section which covered the in vitro diagnostic segment as well, for which which is part of the medical devices, which covers entire gamut of the medical devices, especially when it comes to testing and when it comes to a lot of other especially everybody saw during the COVID times, the IVD market and the IVD companies saw a lot of huge uptake in the products as well. So this is the result of the PLI scheme that was PLI 2.0 that was launched. As you can see, the first panel that you see is the number of applications that we received. And within that, for the IVD segments, we had around five applicants. Well, we had approved applicants for Transasia, Trivitron, Premier Medical, and so on. As you can see, these are the numbers, these are the quantified numbers of the PLI scheme that we're going to see. This was a bigger scheme when it compared to the PLI 1.0 as well. So as you can see, this is PLI 1.0, PLI 2.0. We'll be seeing a lot of more PLIs coming up in the segment, and we will be definitely, as Invest India, will be disseminating all the information regarding the different eligibility criteria and which target segments it covers. And if you think that there is a particular target segment that should be considered by the Department of Pharmaceuticals, they are very open to considering, especially after establishing the PDCs. They'll be looking at into your request and will be analyzing whether it should be included in the next PLI scheme as well. So coming to the India infrastructure, this slide basically covers the existing clusters that exist for medical devices across India. As you can see, the clusters have now, some of the clusters started mushrooming around a different part of the country, and they started covering different segments as well, which is what should actually ideally happen, because you need to build one segment, one country, one state wherein, or maybe one area wherein you can get all related, where the local ecosystem provides for your services, for your manufacturing as well. So as you can see, within Haryana, you will see a lot of companies coming up in medical consumables. HMD is there, Polymedicure is there, where they do a lot of these syringes, and they do a lot of surgical blades and everything, which is required in the day-to-day medical fields as well. With there are certain, as you can see, there are some states which are marked in red right now. These point towards the new medical devices parks that were approved by the Department of Pharmaceuticals. I will also maybe cover a bit of their the incentives that they are offering in their park as well. But before that, I would like to maybe bring back the focus on the existing medical device cluster that exists. Right now, we have two dedicated medical device parks that already exist beyond what were approved by the Department of Pharmaceuticals. One is in Telangana, which is the Sultanpur Medical Device Park. Then there is one in Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. In fact, I was at an event that was hosted by the Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone. I got a chance to see all the facilities, all the R&D, and all the testing facilities that they have built. Excellent facility, must visit for any medical devices companies who are looking up. So then there is one park that exists in Kerala, which we'll also cover a bit in detail. But Andhra Pradesh MedTech Zone was the first MedTech zone that was established by the government. So it's the one that has been coming up, but we are definitely going to see a lot of other states seeing different medical devices companies and different segments also getting covered within these medical device companies. So as I discussed, this is the Andhra Pradesh MedTech zone. This is how it looks right now. I think it was established in around 384 or 86 odd days. It was all the manufacturing and everything was done within that. As you can see the 3D facility. There is a 3D facility, then there's a 3D printing facility, there is a there is a TUV Rhineland testing facility that exists right now, wherein you can take the products and get it tested as well, all your biomaterials as well. And these are the different common scientific facilities, commercial facilities that you can utilize, and and also the strategic support that you get from the different entities that are located. So the purpose of setting up these medtech zones was to ensure that if there is a raw material that is required by a company, the raw materials is actually getting provided from within the park. So there is no extra logistics cost that someone has to pay. If the company has to test the products, they can just directly take it to the biometric material testing lab. And if there are any startups that exist, if they are looking at manufacture, if the startups is interested in doing prototyping, they can go to the 3D printing lab. They can also leverage the Bio Valley that they have set up, which is the incubation center where you can leverage all the other facilities as well. So as you can see, the facility saw a lot of traction during the COVID-19 pandemic as well, where around 100 ventilators and the 500 oxygen concentration, 1 million RT-PCRs were being built by the AMTZ zone alone. So this is the new park that is coming up. There are some facilities that are coming up that are being there, and some of the companies are looking at new medical devices states as well. So one of them is, as you can see in the picture, there is one company that is already established and coming up right now, and the next picture shows you the kind of facility that exists right now. As you can see, this park is slightly bigger than the MTZ park. The MTZ park is around 272 acres. This is around 302 acres. This park houses the Asia's largest stent manufacturing facility, wherein 1.25 million coronary stents and 2 million catheters are getting manufactured as well. As you can see, these are the different kind of exemptions that you get: 100% reimbursement on stamp and transfer duty on industrial land purchase, and a lot of support that you get from in if you're a SME as well, and of course if you are in within if you're a startup as well who's looking to test your new products and everything, you'll get different kind of supports housed within these medtech parks. And there are different like you can also use that built up facility that exists all these. And rather than if you want to manufacture your own setup, if you want to establish your own like facility, you can do that, or you can also leverage the existing facility that they provide right now. So this is the other park that I was talking about, which is the Kerala Medical Technology Consortium that exists right now. These are the different, as you can see, this is a JV between the Kerala State and Sri Chitra Tinuyal Institute for Medical Technology, and this spread across 200 acres. And within this, you can see a lot of research scholars are housed, a lot of PhDs. You can leverage their services, and a lot of other facilities that exist for testing, piloting, and manufacturing as well. So moving on to the new parks that have been added to the mix, wherein the Department of Pharmaceuticals provided a financial outlay of rupees 400 crores, 100 crores for each of these states. So there are different incentives that are being offered by each state. And once you have set your mind, once you visited all the parks that you think, and if you think a specific park is of more interest to you, the states are also looking at building customized packages so that you can set up a medical device facility in their park. So the different areas, different land cost and everything is mentioned here. This is a moving target, so all the details keep on moving. We try to ensure that all the details are covered in our upcoming presentations. But once we can definitely share more details on the park benchmarking, which we think is of utmost use right now. So here comes the part where I come in to support you, and my team comes to support you. We are the National Investment Promotion and Facilitation Agency under the Government of India. We are housed under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So since we are a government entity, we provide services which are absolutely pro bono. You can reach out to us for any queries that you have, any business plans you would like us to evaluate along with you. We would be even going to the facilities for site visits. We'll even let you consider, we'll also introduce you to different industry associations and corporates if you have not got a chance to interact with all of them. So we work in a end-to-end facilitation model where we start with a pre-investment stage, wherein you're considering what kind of markets you should look at, whether you want to look at a particular segment or whether you want to look at what segment is most important right now within India or maybe even across the world. The second column talks about the actual investment execution, where you have sort of identified the segment that you want to enter into, but now you're looking at the site or the state that you should visit. So we help you understand the different states, the benchmarking that exists, and we also visit the states with you so that you can we can give you unbiased opinion of where your particular segment will bloom and where you will have much support for your particular segment in the medical device sector. And of course, the long term partnership where we'll be helping you with issue redressal and market expansion plans. And of course, any challenges you faced in the regulatory aspect of medical devices as well. This ensures that we provide a comprehensive end to end support wherein we are there with you in your entire investment journey as well. So this is the team that exists right now, and you can reach out to different people. We have given our email IDs as well. And I will also probably ask the organizers to share our email ID so that you can reach out to us for any queries. We would be happy to help you on any support that you need. And it does not essentially have to mean that you are looking to invest immediately, but we would love to give you an overarching view of the investments and what you will probably miss out if you don't invest right now in this sector. So this is the group ID that we have. I will definitely be sharing it with the organizers so that you can send in your queries, and we look forward to supporting your investment journey in India. Thank you so much.